Yeah, hi, Al. Good morning. Am I audible? My voice is clear, right?
Good morning, Veera. Can you give us 2 minutes of time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Veera,
Yeah, hi. Am I audible now?
yes, Veera, you are audible.
Okay. Shall I start?
You can start, Veera.
Okay. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, we will.
Okay. So let me start the cluster now. I think I have already started. So the today topic is little interesting and even it's very important one also. Okay, my cluster I have already, I think, created. So meanwhile, let me open my GitHub. Okay. So Kubernetes main. So the topic is Argo CD, guys. The Argo CD is nothing but a deployment tool of Kubernetes, native Kubernetes deployment tool. So we can say this is GitOps process also. So GitOps process is nothing but Argo CD GitOps process. Yeah. So if you can see this architecture, yeah. So GitOps process is nothing but the changes, the cluster is directly, pick the changes from GitHub only. For example, my cluster is already running. So with multiple pods and with different image. So now, if you change your Kubernetes YAML file, by default, your Argo CD will pick the changes and feed it into the cluster. So for example, in the traditional way, how we can interact, developer directory interact to cluster, we are giving the kubectl command, kubectl apply, whatever commands we are going to give, so that the request will go to the control node. The control node is taking care of the action respect to worker nodes. But here the topic and the process and all the same, but the background, if we install the Argo CD inside your cluster, so by default automatically the system has to take care. If the changes, if you can do any modifications, that will take care by your Argo CD. For example, yeah, this is Git, right? So in my GitHub, so if you can see here, this is my, you can take anything here in private deploy. For example, this is my deployment at YAML. Okay, so if you do, so once we clone this repository into your cluster, kubectl apply -f deployment.yaml. If you run this command, this deployment.yaml will be executed. With respect to replicas, pods will be created. With respect to the image will be deployed. So here what we can understand, the interaction is directly to the cluster, right? So the instance is there. So that instance is there. That in that instance, control instance, if you can give the command kubectl apply, directly the cluster is interact with your instance and run the pods and deploy the pods respect to the worker node. But here the process is, we are no need to do any actions inside the cluster, inside the EC2 instance. Simply we can come here, you can do some changes and commit the changes here. So automatically Kubernetes will take care of the action, deploy the changes into the cluster. Okay, this is the process has to take care of your Kubernetes. So you and cluster in between GitOps process will work. The GitOps process is this one. So the changes you can deploy, changes you can push it into Git. So automatically this Argo CD will sense the changes, pull the changes and update into your cluster. For example, if I deploy my cluster, if I deploy my application 2 pods, okay, my cluster is running and 2 pods are running the specific node as per the scheduler is given the schedule. So the pods are running in the specific node. Now, this deployment.yaml already inside the Git, right? Now, if I open the Git deployment.yaml, if I do if I do any changes here or image, any changes. So if you do the changes and commit the changes, automatically Argo CD will pick those changes and trigger into the cluster. So cluster, the changes will be updated inside the cluster. So no need to do any actions manually, everything taken care by this Argo CD itself only. So this is GitOps process. No third party tool is required like a Jenkins and Circle CA, Bamboos and all. So directly this Argo CD is taking care of the Kubernetes deployment in very fast and quickly we can deploy the pods by with the help of the Argo CD. So if you want to know more information, so simply we can go my Medium files. I think this is new, different laptop. Let me check the Google. Yeah. So if you can open here, yeah. See the complete overview. So you can follow my Medium. So we can find out so many things here, respective Kubernetes, GitLab, Jenkins, and in terms of AWS and all. Yeah. So if you can see, this is my Git. The all Git operations is taken care by your Argo CD. It's controlling cluster and pods and all. So what is GitOps? GitOps is a way of implementing continuous deployment of cloud native applications. So I mean, this is CD tool only, not CA tool. So Jenkins is CA plus CD tool, right? But here we are using Kubernetes deployment purpose. We are using only Argo CD. I mean, we can use the Jenkins also. But if you use the Jenkins, so we won't get any much features. But if you use the Argo CD, we will get the rich features here. So that in terms of features, if you can see here, benefits of Argo CD: improve developer productivity, improve software delivery compliances, and SDLC process also we can improve. we can deploy our actions very quickly. I mean, there is no any interaction with the any interaction with the node, right? Directly we can do the changes. Argo CD will taking care of everything. So what we can understand, Argo CD is a deployment tool for native Kubernetes cluster. This is own Kubernetes tool. So whenever you can configure the Argo CD with your GitHub, if any changes we can do in your YAML file inside the GitHub, those changes directly reflect into the your Kubernetes cluster. So this is the main important. What is GitOps? Git itself taking care of all operations. That's what this is GitOps. Not required any third-party tools like a Jenkins, okay, CI/CD tools, that all. So compared to all CD tools in terms of Kubernetes, Argo CD is the best tool. So Kubernetes also recommended use Argo CD tool instead of other third-party tools. The reason this is own tool for Kubernetes. Okay, so let me check my cluster is deployed or not. kubectl get nodes. Yeah, my nodes are ready here. So my nodes are ready here. So what we can plan here. So so if you want to deploy your any cluster and sorry, any pods and all, what we need to do. So you need to run a git clone here, and after that, once we run the git clone, after that you have to go the specific directory, and after that you need to run kubectl apply -f the respective deployment.yaml. So if you can do like that only, the deployment has to take care, and you can access your application whenever you can create a service with respect to the deployment.yaml. That's what we learned in the from the last 4-5 days. Now the process is, I'm not going to clone anything. Directly, I can access my deployment.yaml from the GitHub itself only. So in this process, first we have to install Argo CD inside our cluster. Argo CD is a, as I said, deployment tool. So we have to install the Argo CD. Then we can go for the next process. Okay, let's go to my medium here. Let me install the Argo CD process here. Yeah, first we have to create a namespace. So already namespace we discussed, right? So I have created namespace. So I have created an Argo CD namespace. Now I'm going to install Argo CD required installations in namespace of Argo CD only, not default namespace. So this is the Argo CD installations. So Argo CD install.yaml file. So this file is located in so GitHub only. I'm directly apply from kubectl apply from directly GitHub itself only. So it will take time. It will install all pods and services and controllers, whatever required. So these are all the Argo CD installations process only. So the background to work, background to run an Argo CD, these many installations are required. That is taking care by completely Argo CD command only. No need to do anything here. Okay, and let's go to now again my medium here. So after that, if you can run kubectl get all -n and Argo CD, we can see the list of actions whatever we have installed now. Let me run the command. So kubectl get pods means we'll get pods information, get service means we'll get service information, but if I give get all, we'll get all the information. So which namespace I have installed? This is Argo CD namespace. That's what. So these many have installed services and something and all here. But here we need to understand very important thing. If I want to access Argo CD, you need to open this one only, Argo CD server. So this Argo CD server is running with cluster IP only. So as we discussed, cluster IP is only allow for internal operations only, like a private IP. But I want to access from external means I need to change this cluster IP to node port or load balancer. So let me modify this file now. Kubectl by using kubectl edit command, we can change it to node port, or you can do here from here only. So kubectl edit svc. So which service is required? This one, Argo CD server. Sorry, here Argo CD server is running with cluster IP, right? So if you want to access UI for your Argo CD, you need to edit this cluster IP to node port or load balancer. So my SVC name is what? Argo CD server. So now YAML file we are, sorry, Argo CD server. Yeah, let me check the command correct only. Oh, my bad. So this is located in our default namespace, right? Argo CD namespace. That's what it is unable to open. So this is Argo CD server service. So if you want to access from UI process from external, your Argo CD should be run with node port or load balancer. So let me change to node port. Yeah, done. Now you can check kubectl get svc -n Argo CD namespace. Yeah, I'm able to see now cluster IP to node port. So this is configured now. So let me check my node now. So in Mumbai region, nodes are running. Okay, let me open any one of the node here. So security groups, by default, it is internally routed. So let me open this one and change the inbound rule for any node. You can do any node. The service will work cluster level, not node level, so that even same security group is attached for next node also. So if you can do any one of the node, so SG level you are opening so that it is applied for all services, all nodes. Okay, now let me take the kubectl get nodes -o wide. So you can take the external IP. You can take any one. And you can check the node port 30144. Excuse me, 30144. So your connection is not private, no problem. You can just go ahead here. Excuse me, advanced. So proceed. You just click on this proceed. So this is Argo CD dashboard. Again, you go. Username is admin. Just go through. Now, in order to log in into your UI, you need to credentials. So for username, you can write admin, and password is stored in secret called Argo CD initial admin secrets in the cluster. So okay. So for password, we need to run this command get secrets. get secrets means Kubernetes, Argo CD secrets will get from this path only. Sorry. Control Command C. Command V. So this is the secret, but this is in encoded format. So we need to decode this. Again, the command also we have to decode it. Just give the echo secret value and base 64 decode. Command C. So in the secret value, I'm going to give here my secret to decode process. Even you can use encode decode UI also we have. Simply we can copy and we can run encode and decode. So this is the password, and username is admin. Let me copy paste. This command also will work, but I don't think so. I think any character we are missing here inside, any value will be there maybe. So let me take here command C. So decode command V. Let's decode now. So this is the password. Command C. Let's sign in now. So this is the Argo CD dashboard. Now if you configure anything here, so this Argo CD runs in cluster, right? So Argo CD has to take care of any actions now from now. Okay, now, so if you can go here, my GitHub, I think I need to sign in, otherwise it will not work. Let me try. Okay, let me check the password. Just give me 1 minute. This is different mail ID trigger. Okay, I'm able to sign in now. So now I'm going to configure my deployment for any one of the, you can take any one of the directory from here, folder. So let me take my folder, he's here. I'm taking this one, you can take. Okay, and before that, I think this is new, different laptop. Let me log in Docker also from here. Oh, I think we'll try. We'll see. Okay, so my directory is day6 private image deploy. You can take anything, just copying. Okay, before that we need to copy the URL. Sorry. So this is my URL. Okay, let's go to Argo CD application now. So I'm going to create a new deployment here. So give the application name anything. You can give anything, test and all, but give case and only small letters. Project name also you can give default or anything here. So sync policy should be automatic. Automatic is nothing but any changes will be there in the Git. Automatically it will pull the changes from the GitHub. It's
Veera,
always, yeah.
network issue from our end. Can you please allow me 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Veera? Veera, you can start with.
Okay, is it fine now?
Yeah, yes, Veera.
Okay, but I think I'm able to see two resources I miss here. Is that okay? I'm able to see the number is 7. Is that okay?
Veera, actually, there is a problem with their internet. They are listening through our systems, Veera. We are in the same office.
Oh, then great. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it is fine means okay, we can continue. Otherwise, no problem. I will cancel this.
Yeah, it is fine, Veera. No problem. They're
It's
listening
fine,
through
right?
our
Okay.
laptops. Yes.
Okay then. Okay then, no problem. Okay. Yeah. So I think my screen is visible, right?
Yes, Veera, it is visible.
Okay. So once we log in the Argo CD, what I'm doing now, I'm just deploying my application directly from the Argo CD itself only. So instead of clone the repository into the node, and instead of apply kubectl apply -f deployment.yml, so directly we are interacting GitHub only. So my Argo CD source is what? GitHub. My Argo CD target is what? Cluster. My Argo CD running in cluster. So that's what. So application name you can give anything, project name you can give anything, or keep it as a default one. Sync policy means your Argo CD sync with source. So the source is now my GitHub. Always sync with automatic. Next, if you here if you select manual means, so every time you need to refresh the screen, I mean refresh the application. Or if you select automatic, always sync with GitHub only, no need to do any actions here. And then go to, after that just leave these all steps. Now first one is application name, project name, sync policy, and then now give the repository URL, your repository URL where your deployment .yaml is located. And head is nothing but, so I will tell you, wait. So path is nothing but, let's go to my path here. Where is my deployment.yaml? So where we can, which deployment.yaml we have to give the access through Argo CD. I'm just taking that only. So you can take anything. I'm taking this one. I'm saying to my Argo CD indirectly, this is my GitHub URL. So this is my path of my deployment.yaml. So head is nothing but, if you do any changes inside this deployment.yaml, if you commit the changes, if you push the changes, the commit ID will be updated, right? Recent commit ID. So Argo CD can track only recent commit IDs changes only. That's what head is nothing but, always it will consider head is nothing but recent commit ID only, not for old commit IDs. So destination, you can give the defaults as a cluster URL. Namespace, where exactly Argo CD has to deploy. You can give default, or you can create and give. Okay, otherwise we can create anything. Okay, default namespace I have given here. That's it only. Once again, I'm just go through it. Application name, project name, these are all just optional. You can give any name. Sync policy, automatic, but important one is your repository URL, your deployment path, and head is provision. So this is just, you can give destination cluster URL, just select default SPC only. Namespace also you can give default, or if you can create any namespace before, you can select that namespace here. So your Argo CD will deploy your pod.yaml in pods into this namespace only. That's it. Create a deployment. So just close this one. See, we can see here, this is going on now. So you can click on this. We can see the better view here. So sync means what? Your Argo CD is sync with your cluster from the source to target. Done, syncing done. So this is my application name. So if you can see in my deployment.yaml, I'm able to see one replica, one service, one pod, and one service, right? Let's go here. See, one service has created, and inside the deployment, one replica set has created. We already discussed, right? If you create a deployment.yaml, a replica set also will create the background. The advantage is rolling updates. If you can see, one replica has created. Now, if you can connect your cluster, if you can check here already, kubectl get pods. I'm able to see my one pod here. See, kubectl get svc. I can see my service also. So 32092, right? 32092, you can take here IP. Three two zero nine two. See, I'm able to access my application. Now, what we can do here? So my Argo CD already synced with my deployment.yaml, right? So now, if you go for your GitHub, no need to do any changes here. Simply we can go here. Sorry, this is actually a different one. Login is okay. Anyway, just you can try your end. This is actually I'm unable to modify this. The reason I have login different user. Naresh DevOps Cloud is different account actually. That's what I'm unable to do. Changes here. Okay. Okay, let me do changes here. I don't think so. This will work. The reason this is login with a different account. We have to do changes there only, not here. So whenever do changes and commit the changes means, so here if you can see Argo CD while configuring time, we have given your path and head may and head is given, right? Head is nothing but always it is synced with recent commit only. So if you do any changes, it will update automatically here. No need to do anything. So we can do changes, replica changes, we can do image, whatever. If you want to do anything, so simply it will update. So this is synced with this YAML file, this repository only, right? Now, if I do any modifications, replica count or image changes, automatically your Argo CD sync up with your GitHub source. Okay, now tell me any questions. So we can see even here, if you can deploy and pod, so we can see events, how the process is started here. First, successfully pull the image, create a container, start the container, successfully assign default namespace, pulling image, everything we can see here. And the logs, application logs, summary. If you can go the background, this manifesto has created automatically Argo CD for internal purpose, no need to do anything. This is container state, namespace, everything we can see details. These are the metadata about your pod and all. So clear, or any questions now?
No questions, Vira.
No questions? All are clear?
It's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we have a one more process, guys. This deployment.yaml. So we have created manually, right? So first select the. I mean, if you can go new application. So we have to select application name, project name, policy, and all manually, right? Even though for this process also we have a YAML file. Create application inside Argo CD also we have we have a YAML file. So you can go through it here. You can find out the YAML file even. So this is the YAML file. So this is the YAML file. vi argo.yaml. So my end already there. So if you can see here, the same process, whatever we have followed till now, the manual process, by using YAML file also we can create. So the first step is what? API version of the Argo CD YAML file, and the kind is we are creating application deployment, and name is your application name, namespace is Argo CD, and the project is default, and repository URL GitHub, and a target revision head, path is this one, and server is a default one, and namespace is my app, and sync policy is create namespace, sync policy always true. Self healing is nothing but automatically GitHub is able to get the recent changes from the Git. So these are already we perform manually, right? So if I run YAML file, automatically Argo CD and one this application will create new app. So let's see now. But here I'm deploying my application my app namespace. So in that case, what we can do here, I should create namespace first, or you can go with default namespace. Create ns my app. Sorry, kubectl. ns my app. So done. Now you can apply kubectl apply -f argo.yaml. So whenever I deployed here YAML file, we can see here quickly one more application will be created here. See, this process just now we follow manual process. So instead of creating manually, whenever I run the YAML file, automatically Argo CD is deployed one application here. This application sync with the cluster, Kubernetes cluster. If we do any modification respect to URL and path, automatically it is sync and deploy the changes into the cluster. So this is complete automatic automation process. Even application also we can deploy. This is manually created. This is through YAML file created. Clear? Any questions?
Clear, Veera.
Yeah, please don't hesitate if you're having any questions. So here, if you can see, manually deployed, I'm using namespace is default. So I'm using different namespace. You can create any namespace or you can follow with the default namespace. Completely our wish. Everyone clear?
Yes, Veera, it's clear.
So after that, what you need to do, simply the source and change the label or something. You can change the replica count or image, whatever. Immediately this will be reflect here. The reason, see, this is sync with your GitHub source and especially sync with your path. If you do any changes in this path, head is nothing but whenever you do some changes and push the changes or commit the changes, here commit ID will update in the head. So immediately Git Argo CD will sync with this process and deploy into the changes into cluster. So I'm unable to do changes. This is a different laptop. I should log in my GitHub account. Clear? Everyone clear? This is very important. So you need to update in your resumes this process, this topic, and also. So if you are clear, we can wind up the session for today. So any update yesterday, I think I asked you, right, how many days we have in our hands so that I can plan.
We can extend, Veera. No issue in that.
So no limit, right? No days limit,
Yes.
any, right?
Yes, Veera.
Then we can plan slowly, better. Even though, guys, after complete the classes, also don't worry. So you can ask any questions. Still, we can assign some projects to you, whatever we discuss in these classes. So my 10 projects are there. All are very good projects. So if you can complete those projects, you can update in your resumes like a real time only. So easily you can manage 4 years experience if you complete those projects. So I will give my support till complete those projects. Don't worry. Projects are very important. So the project documents also ready. So if you can see the document, you can easily configure the steps. You can complete the project, whatever knowledge you grabbed from these classes. Any questions?
Veera, in future classes, we are going to cover Ansible also, right?
Yeah, definitely. Ansible I
Yeah.
will cover. Python Boto 3 I will cover. So I need to discuss AWS RDS also. Database is pending. Whenever I discuss AWS RDS, we can go for Kubernetes with database also. I will cover everything. Don't worry. See, I don't have any issue. If you don't have any, if you are having time. So it will take 20
Good.
days more, guys. In this case, 15 to 20 days more. So I
Sure.
think September and only it will complete. So please prepare well. I will give my support so that till you get your jobs. Don't worry. Whatever support required from my end, always welcome. Okay, then in that case, if you don't have any questions, so that we can wind up the sessions. So happy weekend to all. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.